2,000 years ago, a man ruled the most powerful empire on earth. He had unlimited money, absolute power, and millions of people under his command. And yet, every single morning, he sat down and wrote about how to stay calm, how to not react, how to keep his mind steady in a world full of chaos. His name was Marcus Aurelius, and the rules he wrote for himself are more relevant today than they have ever been. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 most powerful rules from his private journal, rules that will change how you think, how you react, and how you feel every single day. Marcus wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This isn't poetry, this is neuroscience 2,000 years early. What you think about consistently becomes your default mental state. If you spend 3 hours a day consuming outrage, your brain literally rewires itself to find outrage everywhere. If you spend time thinking about gratitude, opportunity, and growth, the same thing happens in the opposite direction. Marcus was obsessed with what he called the morning review. Every morning, he would deliberately choose what kind of mind he wanted to have that day. He would remind himself of his values. He would prepare mentally for the challenges ahead, not scrolling Twitter, not checking emails, choosing his mental diet before the world chose it for him. This one sounds dark. It isn't. Marcus wrote constantly about death, not because he was depressed, but because it was his most powerful tool for clarity. Memento mori means remember you will die. And Marcus used this thought every single day to cut through the noise of trivial problems. When something bothered him, a criticism, a failure, a difficult person, he would ask himself, will this matter when I'm dying? Almost always, the answer was no. The problems that feel enormous today are invisible from the perspective of your last day. Marcus used this not to feel hopeless, but to feel free. Free from the opinions of others. Free from petty worries. Free to focus on what actually matters. Try this. The next time you feel anxious about something small, ask yourself, will I remember this in 5 years? If the answer is no, give it 5 minutes of attention, not 5 hours. This is perhaps Marcus Aurelius' most radical idea. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every emperor before him saw problems as interruptions to their plans. Marcus saw problems as a plan itself. When he faced a military crisis, he didn't collapse. He became sharper. When senators tried to undermine him, he didn't break. He became wiser. He trained himself to automatically look for the opportunity inside every obstacle. This isn't blind optimism, it's a trained mental reflex. And the difference between people who are destroyed by adversity and people who are built by it is almost entirely this one habit. The habit of asking, what can I use here? The modern translation, the next time something goes wrong, pause before you react and ask one question. How can this make me better? This is the most psychologically sophisticated rule Marcus ever wrote, and it predicts modern cognitive behavioral therapy by 2,000 years. He wrote, "Observe your thoughts as a stranger would observe them, without judgment, without attachment." Most people identify completely with their thoughts. If you think, "I'm a failure," you believe you are a failure. Marcus understood something different. You are the observer of your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. You can watch a thought like, "I'm not good enough," appear in your mind. And instead of becoming it, you can simply notice it, label it. That's an insecure thought, and then let it pass. Like a cloud moving across the sky you're watching from a distance. This single idea, the separation between you and your thoughts, is the foundation of every major psychological therapy developed in the 20th century. Marcus figured it out alone in a tent at the edge of a battlefield. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire of millions, but the empire he cared most about was the 6 inches between his ears. These 5 rules: control your response, guard your mental diet, use death for clarity, turn obstacles into fuel, and observe your thoughts. These aren't ancient history. They are a complete operating system for a calm, focused, powerful mind. If this video gave you something useful, subscribe. Every week, we go deeper into the philosophy and psychology that actually changes how you think. And if you want to go further with Marcus Aurelius right now, his book, Meditations, is linked in the description. It's the most personal book ever written by one of history's greatest minds. I'll see you in the next one.